Hey, it's Joseph here. Truth to be told, I have been a big fan of Enscape since it fits my workflow perfectly. It is just so effective in doing real-time renderings. And with the recent update, Enscape got even better. Precisely communicating your design intent is easier than ever before. There are 3 big feature updates to this new release. It has improved lighting and reflections, and ArchiCAD's material editor is now in place, along with asset library has been expanded. And there are some more that I'm also excited to have, such as improved settings menu. The biggest feature update to 2.6 version is improved lighting and reflections. Enscape themselves state that they have completely overhauled the lighting algorithm so they can accurately show complex shadow and reflection situations. For someone like me who has spent quite some time with Enscape, the change is quite noticeable, especially in the areas where you have a lot of reflections, such as glass, water, metal, and mirror. The overall complexity and the softness of the shadow is really well maintained even on the reflective surfaces. Do you notice how detailed those reflections are in these places? So you can see that up close, this material shows the shadow and the lighting that is coming down really well, and even on the view that is further away. And if I just bring down the roughness of this material to give more reflection, and the reflection of these components are starting to show up. And if I just drag it further down, you'll start to see more elements in the scene. And if I just bring it completely mirror, you can even pick up everything in the background as well. Because if I were to turn around, there was that sign that you didn't see before, whereas if it becomes mirror-like, then you're starting to see a lot more components than what you used to see. This improvement in reflection, shadow, and lighting adds so much more realism to the scene. I even noticed the improvement in the shadows that is casted by the sunlight itself as well. Making a scene look great and believable always involves some time spent on tweaking values and some post-processing. However, with Enscape, it continues to impress me how easy it is to achieve great results with such little effort. As stated in the feature list, the material editor in ArchiCAD is also available to use. I'm not an ArchiCAD user, but material editor is so essential to making your rendering look great. You can apply bump maps and customize your grass settings in there. I'm sure this is a great news for those of you who use ArchiCAD. And yet again, the asset library has grown even further. More people, plants, and residential decorative items along with other bits have been added to the asset library. As always, you can just open up asset library and choose the asset that you want, and then find a place for it and just pop them in there. And this always saves you trouble of finding things on your own. People who are moving away from the older version will have realized that the settings menu now has been divided into 2 different parts. In Revit, you will see general settings and visual settings that has been divided into 2. And inside of SketchUp, you will also see the settings that has been divided into 2 as general settings and visual settings as 2 different buttons on the toolbar. And if I open up visual settings, and now there is a presets button, and I can go ahead and save preset, save to a project, or save to a file. And as I save this preset to the project itself, now the same rendering values can be shared with much less effort. This is extra great for me as I jump between machines a lot and often have other colleagues who's working on the same file as well. It was somewhat of a struggle to keep the rendering look more consistent. However, now this solves all the problem for me. Some of you can perhaps relate to me because I am somewhat of OCD. Whenever I am sliding these values around, these numbers not falling on a rounded figure kind of bugs me. So now we have 3 dots here. I can either reset to default, or I can set value to a certain rounded up number like so. And then again, the same as it was before, I can double click it to set it back to the default value as well. The installer also has been overhauled. So you will notice a few different messages as you attempt to update. For those of you who are in charge of deploying Enscape into your company, a lot more is possible with MSI files, so you would kind of appreciate this sort of change. And as a small note, for those of you who use Rift S, now the correct controllers are visible in the VR mode. Enscape also released a video that showcases great looking renders that are done in version 2.6. I will also leave a link to that video into the description so you guys could check it out. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about this specific update. If you have enjoyed this content, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to continue watching these type of videos. And thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.